Hey friends, and welcome back. Today we are doing something brand new, something we've never done before, so this is a first. And today we are making our very first batch of homemade sauerkraut. Let's get started. Okay, so this is our very first time, and we've been watching lots of YouTube videos on how to make this and how to have a successful batch of sauerkraut. And we've been told that we needed to weigh out all of our cabbage, so we've done that, and we have 6,227 grams of cabbage. Now, this is the maths and science part, I guess, which isn't my forte. So my husband has done the calculations for me just to double check that I was correct. And I've been told that we need 2.5% salt for our cabbage. So we've weighed the cabbage out, which is 6,227 grams, and 2.5% of that is 152 grams of salt. So we've got our salt here, and also regarding salt, you also want salt that has no iodine in it or any caking agencies in it. So believe it or not, we've been all morning searching for this, and it took a lot of a lot of effort trying to find somewhere that sold salt that had no iodine in, which seems crazy to me because salt should just be salt as far as I'm concerned. But there we go. So we've found our salt. So we've given our cabbages a quick wash, and we've just cut off the tip of the stalk, and now we are going to start preparing the cabbage. So I think we're going to cut them in half and then in quarters, and then we've got a knife and we're going to cut them as fine as we can. So let's get chopping. Okay, so I'm going to cut down through the centre. Lovely, I love cabbage. And then cut these into quarters. I'm also going to remove the hard core part of the cabbage as well. So let's get that out. There we go, so I'm just removing the centre part, and then we'll cut it nice and fine. Okay, so Tyler's just grabbed me a bowl so we can put all of these cores of the cabbage in. These are strong smelling cabbages. Me and Tyler got up nice and early, the day before yesterday, and went to the organic farmers market, and they had a big batch of cabbage. So we thought this was a perfect time to give this a try. We've been wanting to do it for a while because we've heard about all the health benefits of sauerkraut. It's supposed to be fantastic for gut health. It has all the probiotics in it. And if I can have something for good gut health, then I'm all up for that, because I suffer with bad stomach, and anything that could possibly help, I'm down for that. So we are giving this a go. We'll start chopping. Also, we've ordered our jars. These are 5-litre glass jars. These came yesterday as well. So the only thing that hasn't arrived yet, I did order a big metal bowl to put everything in, but that hasn't come yet. So we are going to make do with a saucepan to get everything, all the cabbage salted. Hopefully it will be big enough. Now I've got 2 of these jars and 8 cabbages, and I'm not sure how much it's going to fill up, because I have seen on the videos that once you start adding the salt, the cabbage kind of reduces in half the size. So we shall see. I've got 2 just in case, but it might only take the 1. Just cutting this as fine as I can, and then I will add this to the saucepan as I go, just to make some space. Okay, so that's our first cabbage done, and I've shredded that as fine as I can get it. So I'm just going to transfer this to my large saucepan. I've seen people do it different ways when it comes to the salting. Some people put all of the cabbage into their pot and then just add the salt on top and work it through. And then other people I've seen, they'll put a layer of cabbage in, a little bit of salt, and then keep repeating. So I think I'm going to try that method. So I'm going to do one cabbage at a time, salt it, and then keep repeating. I don't think I'm going to fit too much into this saucepan, if I'm honest with you. I think I might only fit 2 or 3 in it. Maybe the saucepan, maybe the pot that I ordered, the big bowl, will arrive today, but I've got lots to do. It's a busy day and I wanted to get started. So we may not be able to do all of the cabbages today. Maybe I'll have to wait for the big bowl to come to do the rest, but that's okay because this cabbage is good and it's going to last a good long while. So let's grab the salt. Okay, so there's our first cabbage. And I'm just going to add a layer of salt to this one. So the salt is supposed to draw out the water from the cabbage, and that is going to create the brine for creating the sauerkraut. I think that's correct, what I'm saying. So yeah, we've added our first layer of salt, and my hands are nice and clean, so I'm just going to give this a quick mix together. Some people have said they can't stand the smell of sauerkraut when it's being made and fermenting. And this is smelling strong already, so we'll have to see. We might have to keep it out in the garage, I'm not sure. So that's our first layer. And now I'm going to wipe my hands quickly and then start shredding the next cabbage. So cabbage number 2. Let's cut this core out again. It's actually taking a lot less time than I thought it was going to actually. I thought this was going to be really time consuming, but it's actually not. You have to let me know down in the comments whether you've tried sauerkraut or whether you make it yourself and how you make it and any advice for me for doing it next time. I'm going to make my way through all of this. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of it today. Maybe we'll have to get some more saucepans out.
Yeah.
Or the glass bowls, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to have a rummage around the kitchen and see what we can find. Because I would like to fill at least one of these 5-litre jars up today. Like I said, the cabbage is supposed to reduce to about half of its size. So that's our second one done. So we're going to add this on top of our first one. And then we'll repeat the same process of adding another layer of salt. The smell is getting stronger, but it's still okay at the minute. So let's shake in some more salt. And then I'm just going to give it a quick toss around in there. Try and get it coated on all of the shredded cabbage. I think I can fit another one in here at least. Maybe one and then a smaller one. So I'm going to get the rest of these done to see how much I can fit in here and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've just cut into one of the cabbages and I don't think I'm going to use this one because all through it are these black things and I don't want to risk putting it in to the sauerkraut in case it's like going to create a bad bacteria in there and make it go moldy. So like I said, I'm new at this, it might be absolutely fine, but I don't think I'm going to risk it because it is throughout the whole cabbage. Even on, I've cut it in half and it's still through, you can see the black all through it. So, I'm not going to put, oh look, see? You can see all the black. So I'm not going to risk having this one in the batch. So I'm going to get rid of this one. This will go straight onto into the compost. I don't want to risk it. Let me know if you think that would have been alright to use, or if you think I should chuck it, so I know for future. But yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one. All of the cabbages have been shredded, and I managed to fit them between these 3 bowls and saucepan. So this is the first one that we filled up, and already, look guys, this was overflowing, and it's only been about 10 minutes, and already it has reduced in size. And if I push on it, it is going down even further. So I can't see because it's so compact in there, but I'm guessing there's going to be some water in that one, because I've looked at the base of the glass bowl and there is water forming already underneath. And like I said, that's been about 10 minutes. This has only been like 5 minutes. So it is doing its job already. So we are excited. Okay, the video that I've been watching says that we need to check in on this about every 30 minutes and give it a good massage and get all the salt moving and get everything turned over. So this has all just had a good massage. So we're going to leave this for 30 minutes and then come back and see what it's like. So in the meantime, I need to clear up. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes. Now it's time to check on our cabbage and give it another massage. And look at this one, guys. This one was overflowing, and you can see that it is reduced down a lot more. I can push that down to almost just over halfway. So the salt is doing its job. So let's give this a mix through. My hands have had a good wash again. I'm just going to try and get to the bottom and move it all up. Oh, I can see, I will show you guys, there is a lot of water in the bottom of this one. I'll just give it a quick mix and then I'll give you a better look. Okay, so I've been giving these a good massage and I can really feel the difference in texture. It is getting a lot softer and it is reducing in size. So the last bowl I've done doesn't have as much liquid as the first 2, but they are definitely the cabbage is definitely getting softer. So I've given all 3 a real good massage. I've been squeezing them, which the person in the video that I watched said to do. And then we are going to come back every half an hour to do the same, and the person recommended to do it 4 times. So this is our first massage, and we shall set the timer for another 30 minutes. But first I want to show you the liquid from the first one. Okay, so I hope you can see this because the lighting, but if I pull this back, can you see all of that water? There is quite a lot of water in there now. Have a look, Tyler.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Quite a lot, isn't there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that much would have come out of it, but that's after the first half an hour. So we'll check back in half an hour's time.
It sounds like a few centimetres.
Maybe, I don't know, about 1.5 centimetres of water in there. It's hard to see in this light, but yeah, it is doing its job.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see that in the bowl, but there is so much liquid coming out now. See it underneath there? All in there. I think you can see it. But yeah, it is definitely working. So I've done this one. This one has had a good massage, and now I'm going on to the other ones. Oh wow, there is so much water in this one. This was the first lot that we did. This was the first couple of cabbages that we shredded, and there is so much liquid in this one. And again, it is so soft. I hope this is all a good sign. Like I said, this is the first time we are doing this. And if you have got any tips for us, then let us know. I'm just giving it a good squeeze like the video suggested that we watched. And just keep turning it every half an hour. Move on to the next one. This was the last couple of cabbages that we shredded. And so this one isn't quite as soft as the others, but it is getting there. And again, there is liquid in the bottom, but not as much as the other two. But I don't expect it to have quite as much because this was done last. So I'm just going to give this a good squeeze. And then we'll set the timer for another 30 minutes. Okay, so yes, it has reduced to less than half now. It has gone right down, and see all of that water is coming to the top when I press. So because these have reduced, I think I'm going to try and transfer them all into this pot, and then they can all ferment in there until it's ready to transfer to the container. So I'm just going to add them into this one. That's if they all fit. So it all fitted in. Both bowls are empty and it is all now back in this large saucepan. So I'm just going to continue with the third massage, and then we'll come back in half an hour for the final one. But it is softer and all the water is getting released. So I think this is all good signs. So we'll be back in about 30 minutes. Okay, so this is the fourth and final massage. The water has really risen up. So let's get our clean hands in and give it its final massage. Now I have seen some people online, they like to add some spices to theirs, like caraway seeds or garlic. But because this is the first time we're making it, I just wanted to keep it plain and see what the flavour was like. And then for next time, maybe we'll experiment with some flavours. But for now, this is just plain original sauerkraut. So the cabbage is really nice and soft now, and there is lots and lots of water. I will show you in a minute how much there is. But I just want to give this a real good massage, and then I will get the jar and we will transfer it together. So this is how much water there is. Look, there is lots. So I push it down and it is all submerged. Look at that. Okay, let's get the jar and we'll get this all transferred. Okay, so we've got our 5-litre glass jar, and this is being thoroughly cleaned with hot soapy water and rinsed and dried. So I'm going to start transferring this into our jar. Like a bit smaller pieces. Try not to spill any. I think I'm going to be here for a little while doing this, so I don't want to spill any of those juices if I can help it. Like I said, the smell is nowhere near as strong as when we first cut the fresh cabbage. It's kind of lost a little bit of that smell. So I'm just going to carry on and fill this up. And I think all of this is actually going to fit into this one jar. So let's crack on. Okay, so we've just about filled this 5-litre jar, and there's just a few pieces in the brine left. So I'm just going to put those in, and I've grabbed myself, I don't even really what to call it. I'm going to call it my sauerkraut masher. So I've got this, and in the video they say you need to push it down and compact it as much as you can because you want that salty brine to come up over the top. I have obviously got all the brine that's in there as well, but they said to compact this down because you don't want any air bubbles or air pockets in the sauerkraut mixture. This is a good arm workout. So all of the water is coming to the top. This has been fun actually, making this. We've been thinking about making it for quite a while as a family, but we keep saying, oh, it's too much effort. But in fact, it's actually pretty simple and pretty quick. Although we'll have to wait to see after the time of the fermenting time that it's gone okay. I think people have said that it's quite common. You actually get some, maybe some mould on top, but they say that that's okay. You can just spoon that bit out. I'm hoping we won't get any, but we shall see. I will film and show you in other videos that we make in the meantime of the progress of it. But at the end, I will do a full video on our experience with our first batch of sauerkraut and whether it was successful or not. We're hoping it is going to be successful, of course. So I'm really pushing this down as hard as I can. And you can see all of this liquid that is coming to the top. So I think as long as all the cabbage is submerged under the brine, then hopefully, fingers crossed, it should go good and there won't be any mould. You have to let me know in the comments if I am doing this right or if there's something else I should be doing. Like I said, it is our first time attempting to make this, and I'm just going from videos that I've seen on YouTube. So I think that is pretty good. I've compacted that down as much as I can. So I'm just going to grab a funnel to put in here, and then I'm going to pour the rest of this salty brine in. Okay, so let's pour this in. Few bits of cabbage left in there. I want to get all of it out. You can see there is a bit of salt left in there as well, so try and get it out as much as I can. There we go. Don't think I'm going to get any more out than that. There is a few bits of cabbage in here that are now stuck, but that is all the brine. And then just a bit of that cabbage. Get it all in. There we go. So I think I'm just going to plunge it again. I don't know if I need to, but I'm going to. You can see it is completely submerged, but I've got a few stragglers stuck on the bottle there, so I want to get all of them out if I can. Push them in. My hands are clean, so I'm just going to get those bits with my hand. That bit's on the outside actually. There we go. So all the bits are off the side that got stuck. I'm just going to carry on pushing this down a little bit more. And everything, from what I can see, is now submerged under the brine. And that is what we're after, I think. This is exciting. Okay, so that I think is pretty much done. Now it's time just to get our lid. So let me go and grab that. Before we add our cork and our fermentation lock, what we've had to do is we've had some boiled water from the kettle. It's cooled down now, but we've just added, we've filled this up about halfway with some water. Now what the water's supposed to do apparently is it's supposed to stop any bad mould getting inside. And then any carbon dioxide and pressure that gets released from here, it all gets released out through this little airlock. So, I've probably said a lot of things wrong, but like I said, this is all brand new to me and I am learning as I go. So, the water is in there, fingers crossed, this goes in properly and it does its job of what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to get a real good push on that because I don't want any air to get in around the rim. I think that is in nice and tight. There we go. It is done. Our cork is in, our fermentation airlock is in, it's got its water in there, which is supposed to stop any mould spores from entering, because we don't want that, because we don't want this to go mouldy, and it's going to help release all the carbon dioxide and the air, the gas that builds up during the fermentation process. So there we go. Done. So now that all of this is done, all the work is done, the video that I was watching said that you need to check on it every day while it is fermenting, because sometimes some of the cabbage will float up to the top and you need to submerge it back down under your salty brine. So this is going to go in the kitchen on the side, out of direct sunlight, somewhere where it's not too hot. And like I said, people have said they like to leave it for anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks, but the majority of people I've seen have said 2 weeks. So I think we're aiming for 2 weeks, but like I said, we are going to check on this every day because it's going to be in the kitchen, so we'll be able to keep a good eye on it. So if any bits of the cabbage do float to the top, we're going to have to submerge them back down under the brine because we don't want any of the cabbage to go mouldy. So there we have it. Our sauerkraut is in the first stage of its fermentation and we are so excited to try it for the first time. So thanks again. This is our first time making sauerkraut and we appreciate you following along with us. So until next time, take care and have a fantastic day. Bye.